Super Mario Galaxy 1 and 2 just released on Nintendo Switch. So today I'm going to be talking through every 3D Mario game from 1996 to now. If you haven't yet, please go ahead and subscribe to my channel. At this time, it is the biggest way that you can help support me as a creator. The Super Mario series broke into 3D in 1996 with Super Mario 64. Super Mario 64 came out on the Nintendo 64 in 1996. It was ported to the IQ player in 2003, which was only available in China and oddly enough continued to have support available for it until like 2015. It was remade for the Nintendo DS in 2004, and they called that version Super Mario 64 DS, and it was actually pretty different from the original game because you played as Yoshi, and it featured Mario, Luigi, and Wario as unlockable characters. That version of the game was released on the IQ DS in 2007 in China, and the N64 version of the game landed on the Wii Virtual Console in 2006 and the Wii U Virtual Console in 2015. In 2020, it was released on Nintendo Switch as part of a limited time release, part of the Super Mario 3D All-Stars collection. And then finally, in 2021, it landed on Nintendo Switch Online. If you're looking to play Super Mario 64 today, you can probably track down a Nintendo 64 console and cartridge for about $100. If you want to play the DS remake, you can track down both a DS and the cartridge for the game for probably about $75. Additionally, you can play the game on Nintendo Switch. You can subscribe to Nintendo Switch Online, which I think is $60 a year, or you can pick up a loose copy of the discontinued Super Mario 3D All-Stars for about $75. And finally, if you do want to track down an IQ player, I only found one listing for one of those, and it was listed at around $2,000. So I wouldn't recommend that. Up next is Super Mario Sunshine. This game released on the Nintendo Gamecube in 2002 and was once again re-released on Nintendo Switch in 2020 as part of the 3D All-Stars collection. If you want to play Super Mario Sunshine today with the original hardware, you're probably going to spend about $100 or so tracking down a GameCube, and then you can find the game actually pretty easily for probably about $40 on like Mercari and eBay and stuff. If you want to play it on Switch, it's a little bit tougher because your only option is going to be the discontinued 3D All-Stars physical copy, because which runs you about $75 for a loose cartridge. Up next, we have Super Mario Galaxy. This game released on the Wii in 2007 and flew into the Wii U eShop in 2015. And very strangely, a port of the game landed on the NVIDIA Shield in China in 2018. And then, just like the other two games, it was released as part of the Super Mario 3D All-Stars collection in 2020 on Switch. And finally, in 2025, this game was re-released for Switch and Switch 2 alongside Super Mario Galaxy 2. If you want to play the original form of the game in 2025, you can probably track it down between $70 and $120. You can track down probably a Wii or a Wii U between $50 and $100, and then you can actually really easily find this game on disc on resale sites and stuff for like $20. If you do want to play it on Switch, your cheapest option is just going to be to buy it straight from the Switch eShop for $40. If you need a physical copy, the Galaxy 1 and 2 bundle is available physically, and that'll run you $70. And finally, there is still the option of tracking down the 3D All-Stars version, which is $75 for a loose cartridge. Next up is Super Mario Galaxy 2. This one actually followed a pretty similar path to Galaxy 1. It was released on the Wii in 2010 before landing on the Wii U eShop in 2015. And it's been stranded actually on the Wii and Wii U until this year, when just a couple weeks ago it came out as part of that bundle that I talked about a minute ago. If you want to play the original version of this game in 2025, you're looking about $75 to $125. That will be $50 to $100 for a Wii or Wii U console, and you can easily find a used copy of the game for under $25. If you want to play the game on Switch, your cheapest option is going to be to purchase it on the Switch store for $40. Or if you do need it physical, you can get it bundled with Super Mario Galaxy 1 for $70. Up next is Super Mario 3D Land. And I should probably say, this is the only game that I'm going to be talking about today that I actually have not played. And after doing some research for this video, I'm thinking I might go ahead and check it out. This game was released on the Nintendo 3DS in 2011 and the iQue 3DS XL in China in 2012. If you want to play this game today, this is where it gets kind of tough. Tracking down a 3DS console that's in good condition is probably going to run you about $200. But the game itself is actually really easy to find for between $10 and $15. And since I already have a 3DS, that's kind of what made me interested in maybe checking out this game. Oh, and I should probably also mention, I tried looking for the iQue 3DS XL online for purchase, and I couldn't find any legitimate listings for it. Some of them were mislabeled that they claimed to be the iQue 3DS XL, but actually just looked like the regular iQue 3DS. No, the regular iQue DS. And so I would say that's probably too risky when I'm going to be spending that much money on anything. Up next is Super Mario 3D World. This game was released on Wii U in 2013 and re-released for Nintendo Switch in 2021. If you want to play the original version of the game, you're looking at probably $100 or so tracking down a Wii U, and probably like $10 for the actual disc of the game itself. It's pretty cheap. Additionally, you can buy a used copy of this game on Switch for $40, which is the version I would probably recommend. Up next is Super Mario Odyssey. This game came out in 2017 for the Nintendo Switch, and it never went anywhere else, and that was it. And you can pick up a new copy of this game for $60. It is available everywhere still. Or you can pick up a used copy probably pretty easily for about $30. And finally, we've got Bowser's Fury. This one right here. And this isn't really a full game, but I wanted to go ahead and include it here because I do think it's worth talking about. Bowser's Fury was released on Nintendo Switch in 2021, and it is only available as part of the Switch version of Super Mario 3D World. And you can pretty easily find this game used for about $40. And that's all of the games I'm going to be talking about today. So to recap some of the costs that I talked about, if you have nothing and are looking to play all of these games, on the low end, you're probably looking at about $600. And so that would be assuming you can find a used Nintendo Switch for about $200, a loose copy of 3D All-Stars for $70, a used copy of 3D World, which would include Bowser's Fury, for $40, a used version of Odyssey for $30, and then the digital version of Galaxy 2 for $40. The biggest barrier here is that Super Mario 3D Land is stranded on the 3DS, and those are very hard to find. I think I said earlier that it's going to be tough to find one in good condition under about $200. But then you can get the game for probably only about $20. If you already have a Switch and ignore Super Mario 3D Land, the price of all that stuff combined actually only goes down to $180, which actually comes out to about $25 per game, which I think is more than worth it for a bunch of very high quality 3D platformers. Guys, that is all that I have for today. In the comment section, please let me know what your first 3D Mario game was and which ones on this list you still need to check out. If you like this video, you may also like one of these videos right here. And please don't forget to subscribe to my channel if you'd like to see more. Thanks for watching.